The Zapatista movement has been an ongoing affair in Mexico for the last 23 years. The group responsible is officially called the Zapatista Army of National Liberation, or the EZLN as an abbreviation for their Spanish name. They began on New Year's Day in 1994 in Mexico's southernmost state of Chiapas when they declared war on the Mexican government. This was in light of the signing of the North American Free Trade Agreement on the same day, which made it easy for the United States, Canada, and Mexico to import and export goods between each other. A number of indigenous people saw this as a threat, worried that their land would be taken from them for the production of exports, and so they formed the EZLN. They took up in Chiapas because the area is rich in natural resources and is the most ethnically diverse state in the country. The Zapatistas took on the Mexican government both ideologically and violently. They started their rebellion by seizing 4 towns. They fought against the Mexican army, eventually losing possession of those towns and retreating into the jungle. Over 100 people were killed in these battles. As several uprisings began in neighboring states, the Zapatista leader, Subcommander Marcos as they called him, urged indigenous people across the country to join the rebellion. Several other towns did join him, declaring themselves independent from their state and federal government. President Ernesto Zedillo was launching a major military offensive against the EZLN, and soldiers often killed civilians as retribution for supporting the revolt. He met with the group in February 1996, and they drafted the San Andreas Accords as a program for land reform, indigenous autonomy, and cultural rights. 10 months later, however, Zedillo rejected the accords. The Zapatistas eventually moved away from violence, creating their own governments in the towns and villages they had control of. They formed the National Consultation on Indigenous Rights and Culture in 1999, where representatives traveled along the country holding political discussions. When President Vicente Fox took office in 2000, the EZLN especially wanted their demands met for change, and Fox took the San Andreas Accords back up and revised it. The EZLN, however, rejected the new version. In the 21st century, the Zapatistas' presence is still known. They launched massive multi-day protests and marches. For their entire existence, the Zapatistas rejected electoral politics, but earlier this year they nominated Maria de Jesus Patricio Martinez, an indigenous rights activist, to run for president in the 2018 election.